Flippity-doo-dah, flippity-day. Oh, we love to see it. Oh.
Support WrestleTalk!
I'm Ollie Davis, this is the WrestleTalk News. Over the summer of 2022, the Summer of Hunter, if you will, Triple H rehired over 20 wrestlers that had been released or parted ways with WWE since the start of the pandemic. Dexter Lumis, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Candice LeRae. But the rehiring spree halted as soon as Vince McMahon forced himself back into the company in January, where Triple H presumably convinced Vince all those extra people on the main roster were actually wrestlers Vince hadn't fired, they were just in new gimmicks. No, that's not LA Knight, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. He came back, remember? You even had a match with him. Vince's return and his mega deal with Endeavor to merge WWE with the UFC has seemingly paused Triple H hiring any more on-screen performers. Former NWA World Champion Nick Aldis has only so far been brought in as a backstage producer, and Eric Young had his release granted before he could ever even return to TV. But with the WWE UFC merger into its new business super entity, TKO Group Holdings, set to be completed tomorrow, the 12th of September, Triple H could finally be allowed to bring in new talent, which is getting increasingly vital with Raw and SmackDown putting on what feels to be the same show every week since SummerSlam. Along with PW Insider reporting that authors of Pain and Paul Ellering are already back in WWE after being re-signed in 2022, with their on-screen return expected soon. Former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, in one of its better runs, seriously, even main evented a main roster pay-per-view, and former NXT Women's Champion Kairi Sane also seems near a comeback. Kairi left WWE in December 2021 after her contract expired. She returned to Japan and her former all-women's promotion Stardom and would later become New Japan's inaugural IWGP Women's Champion. Over the weekend, Kairi announced at the Stardom Dream Tag Festival that her final time will happen on the 9th of October. Dave Meltzer has added this will be one of her 2 remaining matches before her expected return to WWE, with the other being for GLEAT on the 20th of September. PW Insider had first reported back in August that Kairi would be returning to WWE, with November as the possible time frame. Apparently, seeing the success of Io Sky, who's currently the SmackDown Women's Champion, and feeling as though she'd be booked better with Triple H now running creative.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Oh, hey, I'm 80s Wrestling Turbo Jake. I don't read no books. Books are for nuts. But you know who's not nuts? Our wonderful pledge members over at our Patreon page, patreon.com/WrestleTalk. If you pledge at the $50 tier or above, you get your own custom wrestling nickname, and it gets read out on this very show. So it's time to say thank you to Starbucks, Steven Costa, Shield Vader, the Zornice, the $100 Man, CD Horver, Double L, Liam Leonard, Heaven, Archie, Bargy, Margie Pargy, the Matt Man, Matthew Allen, Abominable, Michael Abbott, Super Kick, Nick Mazesco, I ain't doing a full super kick this time, because I hurt myself last time. And Ryan, Disco, Stewart. Get your own shout out at patreon.com/WrestleTalk today, as well as loads of other exclusive content.
Kairi isn't the only one potentially returning to WWE, as while she's never said the big promotion's name, only that she's finishing up certain dates soon, Matt Cardona has out and out said WWE, Vince McMahon, and how he really needs to go back, in a recent Twitter post complaining about the indie wrestling grind. Cardona has reinvented himself on the indies as a totally different character from his Zack Ryder persona in WWE, and part of the way he gets heat is by playing up the idea he's way too big for indie wrestling, so this post could be a working McWork face. However, his wife Chelsea Green and many of his closest friends like Cody Rhodes and Dolph Ziggler are all in WWE. Cody himself has publicly said how he wants to bring Cardona in. When asked about a return recently, Cardona said he wants it, but only if he's not just another star on the roster. We could maybe see another Triple H favourite returning early next year too, with former Impact Women's Champion Deonna Purrazzo set to become a free agent in 2024. Surprise Women's Royal Rumble entrant confirmed. Purrazzo was released by WWE back in 2020, but has since become one of the best women's wrestlers in the business, leading the charge along with Jordynne Grace to re-establish Impact's Knockouts division. Speaking of Grace, she has opted to re-sign with Impact for 2 years. And of course, there's also a certain AEW name that's just become available for WWE to swoop in and sign. Sonny Kiss to WWE confirmed. Kiss was removed from the AEW roster page day before the All Out pay-per-view, and Tony Khan confirmed her contract had expired on the show's media scrum. Now Sonny has released their own statement on the news. 4 years of living my dream, traveling, making everlasting friendships, working with my childhood heroes, growing into the human I've become right before everyone's eyes, and of course, being part of some historical events with groundbreaking wrestling promotion, All Elite Wrestling, AEW. I've made quite a few mistakes along the way, but I also have learned some valuable lessons too. I'm incredibly grateful for it all. In December, I'll be 30 years old with 10 years of wrestling under my belt. The fun part is, I haven't nearly touched the surface of what I am capable of. Knew my journey in pro wrestling would not be an easy one regardless of my talents. The best part of it all is that I showed people like me that anything is possible when you're working your ass off for it. It may not come easy, but it will come. Sometimes you have to fall all the way down to reignite that fiery passion again. So now what? I'm the Concrete Rose Sonny Kiss, and I am a free agent. I am so ready for this next chapter. Let's continue to break those barriers down, shatter those glass ceilings, and make shit happen. Where to next? And then yeah, I think that's all the big possible names that could go to WWE anytime soon, or the reported or speculated people. Now that the Endeavor deal's wrapping up, I can't think of any more names. So the all-out pay-per-view figures are in. CM Punk to WWE confirmed. I had to say it. I feel better for saying it. WWE held the Superstar Spectacle event in India over the weekend, but after performing on the show, Matt Riddle has found himself in an investigation due to an incident when he landed at JFK International Airport. Initially, Riddle posted a since-deleted Instagram message alleging he was sexually assaulted by an officer and harassed. Riddle even posted a photo of the officer he was accusing. Riddle then posted on Instagram, "Finally leaving JFK, and I never want to come back here again." It has since been reported by both TMZ and Ringside News that the Port Authority Police Department have been called about a disorderly person who was getting off a plane, whom they met in the terminal. This person was reportedly Matt Riddle. Apparently, Riddle was apologetic to the police and other witnesses were spoken to, but no report was filed and everyone was free to leave. The Port Authority Police Department has launched an investigation regarding Riddle's claim as they take such matters seriously. Over in AEW, it seems Santana and Ortiz's reported backstage falling out hasn't been repaired with their reunion ahead of All In's Stadium Stampede match. On Friday's episode of Rampage, Santana cut a promo saying he was tired of being held down by his crutch and declared he wants to go on a singles run. And he took the crutch line to be a dig at his former Proud and Powerful tag team partner, Ortiz, including Ortiz himself, who's replied on Twitter, "What a way to find out years of having your back meant nothing. Good luck without your crutch. Just remember it helped you walk for the last 14 plus years. Hope your legs are good. Thank you for being honest for once, but you couldn't say it to my face. You know you still can, right?" To which Santana replied, "Wow. First thing you said to me in 14 months. No text, no call. I hope your recovery has gone well, but of course paint me to be the bad guy like you've always done. Guess you forgot about our last conversation about this. Either way, I'm happy. I hope and pray the same for you." But don't worry, Bryan Danielson is here to save AEW and lead the charge into a new era of rating success and backstage hum. Oh, god damn it, he's transitioning to a part-time role, okay. On Saturday's episode of Collision, Danielson announced he will start winding down his career when his 6-year-old daughter turns 7. Multiple people have since confirmed to Sports Illustrated that Danielson will be stepping away from wrestling full-time in the next year, yet may remain a special attraction for AEW. While that sounds scary, it's not actually that different to how Danielson has found himself scheduled in his AEW run already. Due to either time off or injury, his only storylines this year have been a 2-month build against MJF at February's Revolution, the Anarchy in the Arena faction warfare at Double or Nothing, fighting Kazuchika Okada at Forbidden Door, and his one-night build yet somehow Match of the Year contender strap match against Ricky Starks at All Out. All in, he's only wrestled 11 times this year, over half of them in January and February. But after over a year wait, we know his next match will be the wrestling purist's wrestling dream, fittingly at Wrestle Dream, fighting Zack Sabre Jr. And when I say fighting, I mean contorting and getting in really weird loops. Pretzel body fleshy loops. Nice. Now go watch me count down all the times wrestlers warned us about CM Punk. the damage has already been caused to point out. Yeah, actually, that's pretty obvious. That was all going to happen. You probably should have listened to all those alarm bells. But in the moment...